Ralphie, baby. What's going on, Ralph? Good morning. What a great surprise. What a great surprise. Kevin, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good. We have Sky. Sky's guitars coming up. Old guitars coming up pretty soon. Keep an eye out for that. We've got a pretty cool rig coming your way. I just wanted to take you through another wonderful morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason, your host, and I'll be here with you all through this hour from the bottom at 7:30 here to the other bottom of the hour, 8:30. So grab your guitar, join us for a continuation of where we left off on our first episode in January. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into the archives. Ralph, good morning. Let's go. Anthony, good morning. I kind of wish I was streaming the old Zelda, the very first Nintendo Zelda. That'd be kind of fun to just be like a professional streamer that just kind of does the old Zelda missions, you know. Good morning, Mark. Good morning. Hey, Mark. Let's see. Find out if that was poisoned today. Jill, good morning. Raul, good morning. Hey, what can I do? Is maybe coming up. I thought I'd get serious about writing a song together as a team here today. So we're going to start announcing that little songwriting effort. I'm going to send out, make available through the website at jasoncareyguitar.com. I'm going to make available the stems if you wanted to go download those and add some stuff to it, add some tracks to it, and we'll see if we can, get a song dialed in together over the next month or two. Checking my breath, checking my pulse. I'm still here. Checking my tuning, my posture. G string's a little out. Good morning, friends. I'm Jason. If you're just tuning in, I'm Jason Carey, and I'm here with Jason Carey Guitar, and I'm here every single morning, every weekday morning, I should say, at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And it's just a quick, it's exactly what the title says. It's a morning ritual for guitar growth. Let's start with a quick little walk through, just two finger wonders, just really quick, just a brief visit. We'll brush up against it and then we'll move right along. We have some really great things planned for today, really great techniques with some really great guitar players on a really great platform, so stick around. And if you want to throw tips in the jar, you can do that in the live chat. All right, 1 E and 2 frets, fingers 3 and 4 on 10 and 12. Hey, good morning, Raul. Good morning, Jill. I thought I was late. I've been there before. Mark, it's Telly Day. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Ahoy, ahoy. Good morning. Hey, bass, Adrian Lee. That's the right tone for the Painted Black intro. Oh. Okay, let's wonder about that for just a moment. Let's see what we can do with that. Don't hesitate. Robbie Life was too short. The Telecaster. Fingers 2 and 3. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to proceed through this. It's like we've got 80-pound bags of kit, and we've got 17 miles to go to base camp. And we're stocking up base camp right now. So we're literally just bringing the big materials in to where we need them for we're staging our guitar playing right now. We're staging the guitar playing. We're staging our skill sets. We're bringing the big stuff in, we're gonna set it down. Then once we take another trip back, we'll pick another load up, bring it in another 17, back 17. And we keep going back and forth until base camp is stocked and ready to receive the community. And in this case, community is our fingers and our notes and our ability to go higher with the guitar, to ascend higher, to higher places. So there's a great song, Higher Place, I think, that our good friend Jeff Pivar was playing, is covering one of the Crosby songs. So one in a million, great song. 1 E and a 2, frets 10 and 12, fingers 2 and 3. Good solid breath. And I'm just thankful to have another moment on the planet to just be with the guitar. I look at my daily calendar and I'm thinking it's all blocked. So my daily calendar in my Mac mail is all blocked off in purple. I use purple, my color code in purple for my my personal guitar calendar, and it is blocked all the way. I even schedule lunch, so it's a half an hour lunch, and I take it sometimes, most of the time. But it's a 12-hour day. We're back up to 12-hour days, which is horrible. I hope you all pray for me, because playing and being around music and the guitar for 12 hours a day is really, whew. I should be getting combat pay. All right, 1 E and a 2, fingers 1 and 2 on 10 and 12. Here we go. Matico, Mr. Dillard, good morning. So good to see you back, man. Emo Teddy. Hey, harmonics to start my day. Great, that's perfect. Let's talk a little bit about, there was a Painted Black. I want to get, as soon as we get through this brief warm-up, I wanted to take a look at Painted Black, because who said it was a perfect tone? Adrian Lee was saying this is when I was tuning up, it's a perfect tone for Painted Black intro. So I wanted to just go back and revisit that. So you can join me if you want, but right now we're going to get through all of this good, wholesome guitar stuff. And I'm looking over here at my Martin DX2E, my beater, my banger, my everyday banger, and I see that I put the capo on. It's crooked. I did some recording with it yesterday, and the capo, you know how the capo is supposed to be like, when you put a capo on the guitar, it's supposed to be parallel with the fret marker, with the frets. Well, I can see now that it's kicked out, and no wonder the thing was buzzing all day yesterday. I'm like, man, I must have been in a hurry, like a Friday at the Gibson factory. All right, so let's take a look at fingers 2 and 4 on frets 9 and 12. And we're just going to get started. 1 E and a 2. Oh, here goes the chat continues. I guess it's not auto-populating. 1 E and a 2, TE end of forward guitar for everyone's here. Get a little posse. So I'm going to get us started because no one else has done it yet. I'm going to get us started. I'm going to make some stems available. I'll give you all of the project notes. I'll give you like a README file with it in the zip. But you'll go ahead and download the zip package. It will contain project files, drums, bass, guitars, keys, maybe some lyrics, or maybe we can work on the lyrics together. Maybe one of us would like to sing the song or whatever, but we'll start working on getting a track going. And hopefully I'll give us some direction and a goal set so that will work for all of us. For those of us who are recording artists or aspiring recording artists like me, then we would go through just a process of just a creative process. It's a nice creative outlet. So I just wanted to let you know that that's coming. So keep an eye out for that. You can just, it will be available at jasoncareyguitar.com. So fingers 1 and 3 on frets 9 and 12. Here we go. 1 E and 2, you know what to do. If you're just tuning in, hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to the Morning Ritual for Guitar Growth series, which happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where we breathe, we tune, we go through these really great but simple, with an emphasis on great style finger warm-ups, both for the fret hand and the picking hands. And some days it feels like, yeah, I'm ready to go, I really want to be here. And other days, you know how it goes. It's like, I've got some lazing about to do on the porch, I've got some, morning dew, morning mist to observe. I've got, a couple papers to grade end of the year. I've got a full moon coming, I've got a Friday the 13th coming. So you know what? This week's pretty much foobar anyway, so maybe I'll just wait until next week. There's a lot of that. There are a lot of barriers to accessing anything, right? It really doesn't matter. All I'm doing is getting here every single weekday morning for 1 hour. I made a commitment to myself, and what I do, because I know it's barely doable for me. I know others probably will have a tough time doing this. So after the live stream finishes, go ahead and republish this live stream as an on-demand video under the live session on this channel on Jason Carey Guitar. And what we do is we leave the live chat intact so we have a history of what's going on. So when you do rewatch this on demand, you can go back and still feel like it's a live event. You can look at all of the comments rolling by, and it's a really great opportunity to just kind of dive deep into the situation if you like. So let's go ahead. 1 E and a 2, fingers 1 and 4 on 7 and 12. And I'm trying to breathe a little bit of life into each note, with some articulation of, length or duration. We'll call it duration and rhythm. Just getting that, just getting those notes to be musical. I'm just using fingers 2 and 3 only, so let's try that. Let's see what happens. I know Raul's been really plugging away on his channel lately, so I just want to draw some attention to him. Denim Dennis has also been working really hard, and so has Anthony Tortorello. Guitar for Everyone's got some really great things going on. So Marco, there's so many great guitar players here in the live chat. Just a wonderful thing to support. Matthew, good morning, Matthew. Nicholas Fry, good morning. Good luck on the shopping process, Robbie. Go visit as many stores as you can. Mark, I like my knee old-fashioned way. Robbie, no mods, just height adjustment on the pickups, and she's always good to go. Yeah, sometimes they get that magnet thing going on, and they start the strings get a little warble. Emo Teddy, finger picking is making me jealous. How effortless it looks. Oh man, I'm so glad you're here still. You never know who's going to stick around, but the plan is to take. We're going to take the first video that we did. We're taking the first video that we did at the beginning of the year. We're going to take the last video we do at the end of this year. 260 hours of morning ritual for guitar growth, warm-up pattern later. And then we're just going to longitudinally study what actually happens to me or to you, to me. We're going to observe what I'm doing. I know Raul is keeping a great journal. We're going to observe what 260 hours does for the body, for the mind, for the soul, but for how does that all translate to your guitar practice? Yeah, I know, I've never seen it done. I just see people show up to the date and they just blow notes like it's like, what is it, like a Predator movie. They're in the jungle just cutting trees down with a saw and just spraying notes everywhere. And I'm like, how? So we're actually going through the process, the back room process, the closed door process. We're opening that up and making this a lower barrier for entry for all of us. Hopefully it's encouraging this to most, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping. So thanks for being here. Got FM, Canon. Oh, there you go. B is B guy on. I got my honey. What is this silly business? I've got no good tone here. Yeah, so the Canon's a really great thing to do. Super great thing to learn. Good morning, Emo Teddy. Capo is like barcode. Are you positioning it? Everything is off. That's right. I'm not even sure. I'm usually really careful about being sure everything's perfect. And I just noticed that it's kind of off kilter here a little bit. So Jill, haven't seen Bernard, Papa Big Boss. Well, I wonder by the Smith. Oh wow, here you go. The Smiths. Wow, jeez. I'm sorry, 22 was new article about his dad. Okay, let's see. Consistency is key. Emo, yeah, you got that. Let's go ahead and start because we're 51 minutes in. I guess I'm not feeling the need to stretch yet, so let's go ahead and just keep working the fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 because we've got some other business to get into today. 1 E and a 2, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Every time we go around with a 3-finger cycle in the fret hand, it's, a different finger start, ring, middle, index, ring, middle, index, ring, middle, index, ring, middle, index, and so on and so forth. I'm going to start with, on the way back up, I'm going to use only the last 3 fingers in my pick hand just so I can introduce the pinky finger to the party. Don't want to leave anybody out. But the pinky finger does have to earn its keep, right? You don't just put the pinky finger in charge of anything because it's really really, you know, the weakest link at this point. Oh, not happening. I guess we can introduce it to the four note grouping. Nice, easy approach with the right hand. Just super gentle, you know. Any more pressure than we need is too much. You gonna be on roller coasters tomorrow? Chirag, good morning. Good morning. Mountain bike addict. Now is someone, we got a high speed alert, thrill seeker alert. You look 20 and 60 at the same time. Who's that? Who is that? Love all my guitars, but this one feels like home. You got it. Do I know who you are? You, somebody I know. We do a lot of filming with, you know, the points, the world point system, with some pro riders. So we do a lot of that kind of thing. So I don't know who you are, but we filmed Yeti, we filmed Trek, we filmed, you know, Shimano stuff, the World Cup race, you know, the point system, the downhill stuff, right? And then there's always some cross country involved with those. So yeah, I really appreciate you being here. Yeah, it's great. Love mountain biking. We have some wonderful trails here that are just super trails. Like I had no idea when I was younger when we were actually. So here's the trick. You're gonna love the story. Let me know if you're still around, because if you're still around, mountain bike addict, I'll tell the story. If you're not still here, I'm not going to share the story. But it's generally interesting, but really exciting probably for a person like you. Let's go ahead and do the finger 4 stretch. So it's 9, 10, 11, and 13. 1 E and a 2, and here we go. There it is. Using a D Dorian, look her up on YouTube. She is from Germany. Loving this telly finger pick thing today. Thank you, Jason. It's inspiring. Oh, you're gonna make a grown man cry. You're gonna bring a grown man to tears. It's just something. It's so simple, you know. It's so simple. Ooh. You take the bump notes with the good, you know. I guess mountain bike addict didn't stick around. Let's go ahead and just keep moving along here. If you think you need new pickups, check your height adjustment first, for sure. MST G Court, good morning. Nothing like the sweet smell of reverb. Yeah, so the part of being human is the most impressive thing to me, you know. Just the mistakes are just so important, you know. The imperfection of man is particularly interesting to me at this time. All right, we've got finger 1, kicking it back, doing the old kickstand, and we're so 8, 10, 11, and 12. 1 E and a 2. After this one, we'll go ahead and think about a stretch. 1 and a D and a 4. You can go. Oh, Venom, yeah, good. You know, we were talking about that song the other day. My wife and I were driving through town, and we hit a traffic light. You know, I was sitting there being slave to the traffic light, and we started talking about, you know, how when we were doing this other program, blah, blah, blah. We had a lot of friends who were like, you know, in music professionals. It's a long story. Anyway, we started talking about living under a bridge. We started to reminisce about the Chili Peppers song, Under the Bridge. And I'm thinking, what a song, what a piece of music, what a beautiful piece of music. Just a really raw, crappy guitar sound that was like customary, you know, and a little out of tune, a little sort of like just raw, but really well captured and just recorded so well. The levels were good on that day, the levels were all good, the recording is mixed really well. But that jangly, you know, that's very specific sound. We should all take a second to thank Bach for everything he did. Oh, yeah, you're not kidding, man. Imagine if there was no Bach. I don't want to be in that multiverse. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I think it's appropriate. Let's take a second and thank you. Just give some thanks to Bach. So, Bach, thank you for writing all of that beautiful sacred music for us to observe and to enjoy, and that you've left behind for humankind as a model to build upon which we can build our own basis for harmonic perpetuation or movement moving forward, leaving a model that we can all access, learn, absorb into our own bloodstreams, and have that counterpoint and that all of those musical dialogues sort of live within us today. So just thank you for being there, and thank you for putting your music out into the community. I know you were probably likely commissioned and surviving, but you were a rare talent and a rare person in the history of music and human musical expression, and thank you. So good job, way to go. You get the trophy for participation. Not only do you receive the participation trophy, Bach, but you do receive it's a trophy for global esteem from the human race of thanks and inexpressible gratitude. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to appropriate. I'm not sure if I'm the one to do the thanks, but yeah, good idea. Thanks a lot as well. Oh, Sylvester Stallone, yeah, right on. Scott, Sami, slave to the traffic light. See the city, see the zoo. Traffic light won't let me through. Oh, there you go. Tingles now. If you haven't seen those guys, man, you owe it to yourself to just see it at one point, for one time, you know, at least one time in your life. All right, so now we're doing the stretch, top of the hour stretch. We skipped over with intention. We skipped over the first stretch, or I did anyway. Maybe you did not. But we went ahead and skipped over this. I've been also working on some of these. You know, when you're doing your yoga, was it Robbie? Did you just start? I want to encourage you, if you're practicing yoga, stick with it. It takes months to do the transformation, maybe years, but months is what I've experienced to really experience solid breakthroughs, like physical breakthroughs. So I would, keep with it. Like Anthony suggests the same thing, I think. And most practitioners would just say stick with it. But when you're in that table position, just turning your hands around backwards, and then just getting that stretch done really helps this forearm situation. So just breathing in and just breathing out. Yeah, we don't really need to talk. There need be no verbiage here. There need be no clotting of the stillness with voice. We should be still enough where we could hear that mote of dust suspended in infinity. Mm-hmm. And 16 clicks is what I usually observe here. And then you can do the jaw head rolls, jaw openings. Those things are good. Then we have a down pull, and this is our last 16 beat or 4 measure cycle. So you'll notice that I replaced a few of these nuts too, or these pieces of hardware. I use black anodized or black colored screws. I like detail. I don't know about you, but I really thrive on just understanding detail, and then trying to make that applicable to my day-to-day guitar world, my day-to-day guitar life. Mark, I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, he died yesterday? Oh man, come on. Nope, I didn't. I figured you weren't talking about why would you, why. I had no idea. I've been not watching the news cycle. And I find that it's been really great for my just general sense of well-being. Do you know what I mean? Taking the time to pray and observe. I'm in the middle of writing a song about things, but we're working on a piece right now about things. And we do ship. I had somebody ask me if I perform the other day. I do perform, but it's Jimmy Carlson, so we just try to get, I don't advertise a whole lot of this stuff, but we try to remain in headlines, in newspapers, in newsprint, so that we remain sort of top of mind. So I like to be sure that if I am writing the thing, that we have a PR relationship going, and then we get that press release out to the appropriate news cycle, we hit the right news cycle at the right time. So that's a thing that's important to do if you're not doing it as a band, especially if you're a touring band. If you don't have the the media chatting about you, maybe that's a thing that you can focus on. Might be worth something, All right, so we do stay busy though. Yeah, Scott, right on. I'm with you, man. Yeah, Norwegian fireplace and campfire. Good morning. Thank you for subscribing. If you're here, if you haven't yet hit that subscription button, let's go ahead and do that. Double tap the screen, smash that like button, and then it will prevent that paisley from growing on your forehead. You know what I mean? Now that you've seen this, if you don't tap the like button, you're likely going to have this little paisley shape just show up on your forehead. So I would recommend, to protect yourself against that, to go ahead and double tap that screen if you're on a mobile viewport. But no, for real, let's go ahead and I feel like I'm almost warmed up. I want to just run through some more minor pentatonic stuff for about 10 minutes, maybe 5 or 8 or maybe 7 or 8 minutes. And we're using the one shape that rules them all for guitar players, and that's this one. It's the 1-4-1-3-1-3 1-3-1-4-1-4. So to make it easily digestible, 1-4, and then we have 3 groups of 1-3-1-3-1-3, and then 2 1-4s on the top. Hey Jim, it is a metronome, and I use the metronome. I'm so glad you asked, because this is so important. I'm going to explain this as we work through this pentatonic system, starting on position number 9. Let's go ahead and get it going. 1 and 2 E and of 4 attacks per beat at 60 beats per minute. Let's do eighth notes. Let's do that. Eighth notes will give us some insights, some sonic feedback that we won't be able to collect that kind of sonic feedback if we're playing a tighter subdivision such as 4 attacks per beat. We're leaving the space 2 attacks per beat, not because we can't play 6 notes attacks per beat or 7 attacks per beat or 8 attacks per beat. We're playing 2 attacks per beat because we want to be able to take a solid look at observing God's creation. Okay, super important to take the time to observe the works. And you can play along with me. All about soaking in the tone. The tone should be dripping off the guitar here. And no, I don't do mushrooms, you know what I mean? It's like, just want to be breathing in and breathing out. And this time gives me a pause to check my posture, to get with my posture, really drive home with the muscle memory the exact coordinates of every single tone in this scale system. And the pentatonic system, if it's played correctly, it does not matter at which tempo we choose to deploy it. Fourth finger and third finger on the picking hand. Super clean, super focused, super breathing, all of super posture. Let me talk to you about one thing. Let me just talk to you about one quick thing. All right, so one quick thing. I know it sort of feels like these two are on their own, but they're not. If you do decide to use this finger picking approach, you can see that my fingernails are all sort of like ramped. They have ramps on them, right? Every one of them should be at the same height so that they're all addressing the string. Let's say this is the string. If I do this, only the middle finger is really going to get fit. So I don't want that, right? What I want is all of these fingers to live in the same plane. I want them to be all at the same dinner table so they can all be fed and communicate with each other. That being said, I try to keep these fingers together so that when we do use or attack with the pinky finger, we start at 0, pluck away from the 0, come back to the 0. Same thing happens with all of the fingers. We have a 0 point. We pluck away and we pull back to 0. So that's how we control, oh, way out there. So that's how we limit the motion of the fingers to be totally efficient. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and just work a little bit more. We have one more, time enough for one more cycle through. Let's go ahead with fingers. We'll do the second stage, which will be the major pentatonic. Another fairly popular pentatonic shape on the guitar, which is, it consists of 2 and then 4, and then 1, 4, 1, 4, and then 1, 3, and then 2, 4, 2, 4 on the top, with this being the root note. You can hear just like where you start to just play the string too hard and it starts to like bite back, you know. So I want to have to remember to keep my articulations, you know, I'm not trying to beat up on the guitar, you know. It's not like I'm playing Daft Punk or, you know, any of those Nirvana, 90s Seattle groups or whatever. We're not really relying on pressure or brute force to get through the guitar string. 1 and short attention span theater. All right, yeah, that's funny. You know, we've got to talk about that. The smartphones really damaged my student process. You know, since whatever it is, since the beginning and to now, I've watched like literally my teenagers coming through learning, you know, blank or whatever they're learning. They used to be able to do a whole half an hour session. Now they do like a, you know, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and we're talking about something else, and then there's a redirection to try to get back on track. So there's been a huge diminishing return on attention span. And, you know, I think we all know what the problem is, but for whatever reason, we're allowing it to continue. Not sure why. 1 E and a 2, and let's go ahead and do that fingers. 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. Ready? 1 and 2, and here we go. I'm just going to double the frequency of attacks per beat, 60 beats per minute. That way, every weekday morning, it's the same tempo. It's a warm-up after all. We're not engaged in, you know, we're not trying to spin the tires off of the wheels, getting our drag racers started and going. This is much different. It's an entirely different story here. This is the warm-up that leads to that track, the domination of the drag track. And through touch and through repetition and control, which all begins with the word breath, by the way, we will become drag racers that we always wanted to be, right? an angular version of, you know, a Pink Floyd tune from The Wall to me. But I wanted to start where we left off yesterday. We left off with a G string doing some things. So today I just wanted to revisit the modes, right? Just again, one more time. We have the D string. As long as we start with D, end on D, super easy now. The last 15 minutes or so, 10 or 15 or 12 minutes or so, are going to be dedicated to understanding modes on the guitar through the simple things that we already possess. I already possess a guitar. I already possess the understanding of the C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, and then I know how to say it up. I know how to say it backwards. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, and so on. I'm just going to start from D, E, F, G, A, B, C, 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 D, E, F, G. You see what I mean? Improvisation doesn't always occur just solely on the strings of the guitar. It has to come from the inside, from the internal. It's not the external that defines the person, but the internal. I had that talk with my granddaughter yesterday, and she's like, "You mean my heart or my bones?" Well, let's talk it out a little bit. So we have a few long scale hikes planned so that we can open up that discussion of internal versus external. And you know, world peace starts in the highlands, right? Did you know that? Most world peace is brokered in the highlands. Yeah, I never believed it, but then I studied it. That's how it works. 1, 2, just D. Go. D, E, and then how could I sounds still like Pink Floyd to me, but anyway, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and then we're descending. D, C, B, A, F. Yeah, you paying attention? Did I get you? G, F, E, D. Good. All right. So now we can, of course, jump all over it. So from D to D, D to C. If you're Tool, you know how to do that. The guitar player, the bass player from Tool, you know how to. Tremendous amount of fun with just the open string, that single string. So I could start with like I don't know if it's worth doing this. Maybe it's worth doing this. We'll turn this system. We'll just kind of do this. I don't think I'm going to go ahead with a loop today. Here's what I want you to do. If you don't have a looper, you don't need to go buy a looper. Everybody will tell you need to go buy the thing, the next piece of gear. And you need to go, Jason, in order to get up into 6,500 feet or 14,500 feet in elevation during the winter season, you're going to need to go spend $2,500 on Gore-Tex and shell layers and undergarments and overgarments and basically recreating a spacesuit, right? With all of the thing up. But we've been doing it for years, like layering socks like rag wool. Wool works great. You know, you don't need to go spend a ton of money on loopers and gear. Of course, it's really cool to have all of that stuff. It's sort of a luxury situation. So I'm going to assume I don't have one at this point in my life. Well, I do have multiple versions of loopers, loop stations, and all that stuff. I love all of them, but I want to hear, just all I want to hear in my head is this. you know, moon dance or something like, you know. So I'm thinking D, I just need to know a D chord, just a simple D chord. Here's a fret 5 on the A string, 5 on the D, 5 on the G, 6 on the B. And it's called the D sus4, you know, or not sus4, so D minor add 4. And then I'm moving that shape, parallel planing that shape. The 007 theme from earlier today. We're starting with minor 7, basically, you know, minor 7, and then the 2 minor 7. So those will be our 2 characteristic chords. Or you could play them down here if you want, you know, open D string, fret 2 on the G, fret 1 on the B, fret 1 on the high E, and then just thinking, how cleanly can I play this? What's going on? All right, all I want to do is just remember that sound. Muting because I've got a little delay on it, and if I just terminate the chord, it will ring out of tone or out of time. So all I'm doing is playing the notes of D Dorian, working on taking what I know I have. I'm working with what I have, the single string, the knowledge of the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, starting on D, ending D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D on D, and then working with all of those notes in between based on 2 characteristic chords of D Dorian mode. There it is. A hard hard thing to do is not to get excited about playing the eighth notes. I'm worried in my mind about being too slow. You know, it's just a slow tempo and it's not really that engaging. You know, it's not an up-tempo tune. You know, it's not really demanding that the listener pay attention, you know, in order to absorb it. But that's all more reason for us to really dive in, and get the rhythms right. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then we can play the melody. As long as we have that chord progression roughed out or framed out in the background, we have the opportunity to play all over the top of it. Because you're right, Marco's talking about this. It sounds like a background for the 70s movie. Yeah, you did say something here that is... somebody said something. Oh, chords have progressions like note scales. That's exactly what's going on, right? There's a thing called the chord/scale relationship, and some of us push it even further, and we identify it as there's no difference between chords and scales, all the same chord scale. So the chord scale becomes a really important concept as we sort of proceed into our musical journeys together. But for now, I just wanted to take the C major scale into some unknown, possibly uncharted territory with you, and I hope you enjoyed today's session. I know I certainly did. And like you, sometimes it's going to be real. Sometimes I have in my mind, I feel like, just so you know, sometimes I feel like I don't really want to be here doing it. I could be in the, Turks and Caicos, or I could be in Montserrat somewhere. I could be, maybe improving my earning potential, or at least maintaining my earning potential. But I feel it's so important right now for me. It's a very important year in my life personally, and I want to make the most of it. And I thought, how can I do that? Praise the Lord, love my family, my wife, and community, play my guitar, and serve where I can, when I can. So that's what's going on. But it doesn't mean I always want to be here doing it. Okay? Reality check. And I have so many friends in show business that we have, you know how show business is, show must go on. We learn to keep that smile maintained. We've got to make sure that we are likable and selling the smile or selling the sizzle. That's important. While that's important, certainly for brand maintenance, I feel it's also important to you to know, because this is a behind the scenes thing, and I want to discuss all of the things that I've collected from my student friends over the decades. And those concerns, maybe they're not really my concerns, but maybe they are, but I definitely want to share them with you, okay, for some reason, all right? And you take them or leave them. But anyway, I hope you all have a super day, and I hope you all go on smiling, because really when you smile, it does open up some things in your brain. Anyways, it does work, and it's, we're going to go with trust the science on this one. You can find it at John Hopkins' website. So, all right, Mr. Fish, thanks everybody. No, I'm just funny. I'm just trying to have a fun time right here. But all right. Anything else going on? I'm going live for a jam in 5 minutes. Oh, nice thinking, Tortorello. Good for you. All right, we'll see you over there. Lost souls do like a quantum vortex. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's time to go. What do you think? I've got so my calendar goes from here. I have 1 hour to accomplish what I need to accomplish after this, and then my day has completely moved on. I have a calendar block for Bluegrass, flat picking, that takes the rest of the morning. So I've got to go, got to get on it. Stick with the program, gang, and stick with it. Happy to see you here. Until we meet again tomorrow morning at 7:30, I wish you a very happy picking.